Hello beautiful people, and welcome to your yoga practice today. Today we're going to be focusing on a restorative practice. So our entire practice today is restorative. So go ahead and gather up some things. You're going to need several blankets, a block if you have one. If you don't have a block, you can grab a stack of books that might be the same height, right? Something solid, a pillow. Go gather your props and then come back and we'll get started. So what we're going to be doing today is focusing on deliberate stillness. So bringing ourselves into stillness to connect with our mindfulness, to slow down, to kind of press pause on that sympathetic nervous system and allow ourselves to maybe get deeper into our parasympathetic mode, because there's so many gorgeous benefits that come with that, and one of them being it's helpful for our immune system. It also reduces stress and anxiety and can lift us in our mood and help process emotions and balance us out. So there's tons of good benefits to it. We move from being in activity to being in receptivity, so allowing ourselves to receive the benefits of stillness and a calming practice. Now, this might not be easy for everyone to slow down. And if that's the case, or you're new to this practice, I invite you to just be curious. It might feel uncomfortable to be still and quiet for several minutes at a time, and that's okay. You can be uncomfortable and work through that a little bit, but there's no pressure. But I just invite you to try. Give her a try. So we're going to start with a little bit of breathing, a calming and cooling breath, the alternate nostril breathing. And then we're going to move into a little bit of a stretch, work out some kinks maybe in the joints, and then we'll be going into about 3 to 4 restorative postures. So let's get started. So if you want, find any comfortable position where you can find your seat on the ground or on a block. Today I'm going to give my hips a little bit of a break, and I'm going to prop myself up on my block. You can do this on a blanket, on a pillow. It doesn't have to be a block. This way I'm just allowing my hips the freedom to relax and giving them some height, bringing the ground up. So let's just find ourselves in space and time. So arriving on our mat and just letting go of whatever was going on before we got here, or whatever we have coming up after this practice. Letting it all go so that we can fully be here with ourselves, our practice, and be present for our body. And just taking a few inhales and exhales, inhaling through the mouth, exhale through the mouth. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Really let it go. Continue this breath a little bit, noticing on the exhale that the shoulders might drop a little, noticing where some tension might be within the body, noticing without judgment. And now we're going to do a little bit of alternate nostril breathing, Anuloma Viloma. So you're going to bring your hand up to the side and make a peace sign. Now the fingers, aren't really that important, so you can really use anything to do this breath. But if we want to go by what the actual mudra is, so we're going to put those 2 fingers down, bring up all the rest. We're going to circulate that hand right in front of the face. And we're going to use our ring finger on the left side and our thumb on the right side. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. Your right and left. All right. And so what we're going to do here is we're going to inhale for a count of 4 with one nostril plugged. So we're going to inhale through one nostril, We're gonna hold and plug both nostrils and hold for a count of 4, and then whatever, we're gonna exhale through the opposite nostril by releasing the finger. And it might take a few rounds to get it, and that's okay, no problem. Just settle into it. This is a really great breath for cooling down the body at the end of the day, or maybe you have a stressful moment at work, so bringing down the stress. You know, you can practice it even simply for a couple rounds. You might notice excellent practice for a headache. If you're experiencing a headache, also really great for that. So let's go ahead and we're going to start with plugging the right side with the thumb. And we're going to inhale through the left for a count of 4. So go ahead and plug that right side. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, and hold, plug both, 2, 3, 4, release left side or right side, 2, 3, 4, and inhale, same side, 2, 3, 4, and hold, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, and inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, exhale, 2, 3, 4, and inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 2, 3, 4. We're going to go to a count of 6. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One more time. Inhaling, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and release, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, release. Bringing both hands down to the legs. You can put your palms on your knees or take a mudra. And just return to allowing the breath to move in and out of the body. Notice any sensations you might be feeling, any tingling, any tension or calmness. Nothing's right or wrong. So whatever is showing up for you is your experience. Beautiful. It's a really great practice for balancing out the left, right sides of our brain, balancing out the left and right side of the body. Now that we've come and brought ourselves into a little bit of relaxation with the breath, I'm going to go into a few relaxing stretches here. So come on to a tabletop pose. I'm going to go this way for you guys. So knees under the hips, and then stacking the joints in the front, shoulder, elbow, wrist. Hands nice and bright. We're going to find a static table. So we just to find your neutral table position with a neutral spine, go ahead and just arch the back, and then making sure we're keeping the stomach and the core nice and tight, and then go the other way. And then just see if you can find what's in between arching the back and then rounding the back, that neutral in between. And that's where we want to be, right here. Beautiful. Neck is nice and long, so we don't want to be dropping in the neck, keeping the neck as an extension of the spine. And from here, still have a little engagement on the belly. We're going to inhale, dropping in the pelvis, arching in the back, bringing the heart forward with our gaze. And exhale, we're going to press into the ground with our hands, push away from the mat, send the back of the heart up to the sky. Nice and slow here. Inhale. Start to bring that heart forward again, dropping in the belly. Exhale, press away from the mat, rounding in that back. Let the head drop as well. Beautiful. One more time with your own breath. You might notice that your breath is a little more extended now that you've gotten on your mat and practiced a little bit of your pranayama breath work. And when that's complete for you, we're going to come back into tabletop. So from here, we're going to take a little bit of a adductor stretch. So we're going to stay in tabletop here, and we're going to extend one leg out. You're going to stay where you are. I'm going to turn and face you so you can see where I am in space and time here. So we're going to extend one leg out, still find your neutral spine first. So where is that neutral? Turn the belly on, extend the leg, and we don't want to be pressing down onto the sole of the foot. We're just going to keep our foot and give it some pressure maybe on the inside of that foot. So we're going to nice and slow just come as if someone's pulling your hips back. Nice stretch there. You should be feeling a stretch all along the inside of the leg. You don't want to feel any pain though. So stretching, pain, different, right? So coming back into that stretch. Don't go as far as so where the hips dump down. We want to keep nice and level, that low back, and then come forward again. So just playing with this a little bit. Maybe breathing into it, just getting some mobility happening here. And when that feels complete for you, we're going to go ahead and bring that leg back into the tabletop position and extend on the other side. And same thing here. Still in that neutral spine. We're just as someone's pulling your hips back. Be in the stretch. Keep your breath moving. It might be tight. The breath is going to help you to relax and release and let go. And coming forward, back. This might feel really nice if you haven't had an opportunity to stretch a lot after your workouts. This is an easy one you can do anytime. All right, bringing that back. From here, stay in your tabletop position. We're going to come up on our knees, and we're going to focus on squeezing the glutes. So squeezing the glutes and posterior tilt of the pelvis. So this is anterior one, posterior tilt the pelvis, squeeze the glutes. I'm going to swim my hands behind my back as if I'm putting them into back pockets of my jeans, nice and supportive. And then from here, I'm just going to send my heart to the sky, but I still want to make sure I'm squeezing the bum, squeezing the bum, squeezing the bum. Heart to the sky, shoulders together. Just a nice front extension, just a baby one, nothing crazy. And let it go. Coming back. So send those hips back onto the feet, and we're going to prepare for our first pose. So go ahead and grab your stack of books, your pillow, your block, we're going to come into a child's pose. We're not going to be here for the full few minutes. We're just going to start to establish our breath in relaxation, our breath in resting pose, okay? So go ahead and find a child's pose variation that works for you. You can do wide leg child's pose if that's what feels good for you. You can keep the legs together, traditional child's pose, but we're gonna make sure that we have our hands against our block or our books for today. So I'm gonna go ahead and take traditional child's pose with legs together, and I'm going to bring just my head, my forehead to the block. We're just gonna be here for about 10 rounds of breath. And just noticing it's okay if, your bum doesn't fully come down all the way. You can always have a pillow underneath you here or a rolled up blanket to help give support. Ideally, in these postures, we want to take out all the activity as much as we can in the muscles, allowing our muscles to truly get some relief. Certain areas of the body, we think about it, there's not too many times throughout the day where we allow our muscles to get that release. Even in our bed, even in our sleep, our muscles are still working. Just feeling into the relaxation benefits of this pose. In these resting poses, it can be totally normal for emotions to come up, feelings, sensations. Just become aware of it. Just allow it. We're going to slowly transition. So we're going to move the block or books out. And how we transition is just as important as how we get in and out of the pose. And we're just going to slowly walk ourselves up. We don't want to start jolting ourselves up after we have been resting. So go ahead and grab a blanket and start to move onto your bum. So any blanket will do, or pillow even, if you have one that looks like this, or if you do have a bolster at home, you can use that as well. We're going to roll it up so it looks like this. We're going to just take that, and we're going to put it at the base of our spine. Feet on the ground to start with, so making sure we have that nice and tucked there at the bum, and we're just going to walk ourselves back so that our spine goes all the way along. And if you don't have something supporting your head here, make sure that you grab a pillow or another blanket so that your neck is nice and is supported as well. So we can stay here and keep our knees pointed to the ceiling, or if it feels comfortable for you, you can extend one leg at a time. I'm going to keep my knees bent for today, and just take the arms out beside you. Feel free to take up space. In these postures, comfort is key. So if you're uncomfortable now, you're going to be uncomfortable 3, 5, 6, 7 minutes in, depending on how long we're holding. So find your comfort. If the blanket's up too high, we'll just roll it out a little bit. We're just focusing on opening up the chest. Letting gravity do its job. Getting the full support of the ground beneath us. And I always say in yoga, no pain, no pain. So if you are feeling any pain, I'm going to invite you to adjust where you need to. What can you let go? Is there something that is causing some mental tension that you can shelf even just for a bit? Is there a problem that you're trying to solve? What if you were to just let go of it for a bit? Just let go, create some space. We do a lot of the asana practices to create space in the body and stretch it out. We do the mindful practices to create space in our mind. Feel your feet connected to the floor. Notice if there's any tension holding in the jaw. In the face. And just checking in where you might be able to make a suggestion to the body to let go. You're going to start to transition out of this pose. Don't fling yourself up. We're going to roll onto one side, so just start to roll off of your blanket or your bolster. Roll onto your side and then just slowly press yourself up. Beautiful. We're going to come into our next posture, which is legs up the wall pose. So finding a wall or even a chair with bent legs if you need to. This is a great posture for restless leg syndrome or just if you've been on your feet all day. So come up, bring your hip right up close to the wall, and then start to walk yourself down. At the same time, raising your legs up. And then you can scoot your bum as close or as far as you need to be for comfort. Remember, we need to feel comfortable in these poses, or it's not going to be doing the job for us. Comfort is key. Not in maybe other postures, but in restorative, comfort is key. So again, take up space with the arms. We're starting this posture now. And let it go. The mind might wander, that's okay. It was designed to do that. All we need to do is bring it back to the breath. It's even nice and cozy if you have a blanket that you can put on your top half. Maybe a heavy blanket, just a little bit of extra pressure. Feels really nice on the nervous system. Just sinking in. Again, making a suggestion to the body that it's safe to relax. Feeling the safety of the ground beneath you. Feeling the pull of gravity, keeping us grounded. Feeling the break that we're giving our legs. If at any point you need to come out of the posture, feel free to do so. Notice if your hands are relaxed, your arms. It's also nice to have maybe a playlist going at some point. If you try this practice again, help deepen the relaxation. Checking in with the shoulders, seeing if they can release and let go. And again, as we come out of this pose, we're just gonna drag our feet down as we bend our knees. Again, rolling to one side and pressing ourselves up nice and slowly. For our final posture here, we're going to come into Shavasana, which I'm sure you guys are mostly familiar with. I'm going to suggest that you get really cozy with this Shavasana so that if you feel like you want to stay in it for longer than a couple minutes in our practice today, you can go ahead and do that. So go ahead and put a blanket, a rolled blanket, a pillow, whatever it is you need to support your knees. And then get a blanket that you can cover yourself up with. And if you have an eye pillow, bonus, that's great. Now I know this practice might seem like a great practice for before bed, and that is true. But some of these postures you can break out at any time in the day. It's a nice meditative way to start the morning relaxed and refreshed. Also, nice to do in the middle of the day, especially if you're feeling stressed, and you can take a few minutes out to just release some tension, to just let go. So we'll go ahead and get nestled in and just let everything. I like to suggest to not wrap yourself up tightly in the blanket, but let your feet be loose so that they can relax and release into their natural posture. And let's just take a few moments to breathe here as we sink in. So we can take our hands to our stomach if we want to. Connect with our breath. Just noticing where you might be feeling any sensation in the body, any tension. And make a suggestion to that space to release and let go. Continue to feel the breath flowing in and out of the body. To witness thoughts flowing in and out of the mind. Letting go any attachment. You might be hearing some noises around you, and that's okay. The world's never going to be perfectly still for us. The stillness is what we have to create. So it's a practice to not allow ourselves to get pulled by outside noises, but just noticing them, and again drawing our attention back to where we are on the mat. And from here, again, we're going to transition slowly and gently. Let's start by bringing the feet up to the ground, knees to the sky. And then we're just going to drop over to the side. Again, you can stay here for a few minutes, or you can start to press yourself up using your hands nice and slow. I'm a little zoned out here. Got my Zen on. So that is our restorative practice for today. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope that you'll be able to use some of those postures for more rest, stillness, relaxation to balance out all the activity in your day. Thanks for joining. Namaste.